Tupaea at 12 is looking outstanding, isn't he? Like, he was really beating on the door for the All Blacks.
Definitely. I think it's a great point, Ross. Look, I think Quinn has gone under the radar a little bit, but I think his performances, I think for the duration of the year, he's having his best year, I believe. His collision area, his breakdown turnovers. Look, you get a guy that's over the ball. We've talked around Tavatava Nawai early in there with how good he is around the breakdown. I think arguably he'd be the second best midfielder to be able to get breakdown turnovers, which I think has been massive for the Chiefs defensively. And then I think the way that he played on the weekend, he was up for it, was able to put the skill set under pressure, I think, even in terms with Davey a couple of times. But look, I think for a guy that's knocking on the door, I think we're pretty blessed, and I guess in that 12 position, we've touched a lot around the 13, around with Rico and Billy, and even Sullivan and the guys that have played in that position. But we've got Geordie Barrett, David O'Villier that's been in that group, but Chief Tupaea definitely is in that. Is in the reckoning with his performance on the weekend and through the duration of the year with things that I think he does really well for the Chiefs this year.
And I think he's completely shown he's a triple threat, Bryn. Like, I think his kicking game has come on leaps and bounds. Like, one thing David Havili's always had is that triple threat game, and what his kicking is superb. But I think the way the Chiefs have the ability to exit, and they've got the lowest failed exits in the competition, and that's a big stat to win, because you're not giving the opposition that chance. But I spoke about it a few weeks ago, and Quinn's a big part of this, is they can kick from anywhere in their back line. And if you shut off one option, the next player, and they know tactically they're on song, and when they kick, they know it's to their game plan. And I think Quinn's attacking kicking game has been his biggest growth, because I think the ball carrying, feeding his outsides and setting players up, and his defensive work, it's always been there, and that's why he's been an All Black. And before that injury, he was a solid mainstay in that squad. Adding his kicking, as we saw with the growth and the development of Ma'anonu, I'm not saying he's Ma'anonu, but he's definitely trending in the same direction with that added string to his bow with kicking.
Because the All Blacks love that with Geordie Barrett, don't they? They love the fact that their 12 can do all sorts of roles, bash and crash, kick, etc. Is Quinn up to the stage where his kicking game can match that international level of kicking that we expect?
Well, I think it's the best we've seen it. It's a hard question to answer, because you may have to wait till he gets that opportunity to play again. But what it will do is give selectors confidence to put him on the side. I think the other thing as well, when you're trying to get a squad, and if Anton not being there, he can move to 13, and again he has that ability to distribute. He does read the defence really well in terms of when he should be carrying or when to give the ball, but also now seeing that kicking prowess, I don't see why not. But as we know in the international game, that line speed pressure is going to come at a rapid rate.
They usually select four midfielders, and you'd have to think, Geordie's going to be there, and it's whether he's going to be able to go against David Havili, and if they think that on form for form or the skill set that he has is better than Davey, then I guess he comes into the selection process. But look, I think I've been really, really impressed with him, and I think the finals footy, Jib's touched on it a lot. The more you can play against, you can play big matches and playing well against your opposites against the All Blacks or whoever it may be in final situations, you get yourself into that selection criteria. So, I've been very impressed with how he's played this year. And to answer your question, Ross, definitely, he seems like he is a test player, and that's why he was an All Black before his horrific injury that he did have a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it's hard not to imagine that maybe it's that relationship between Havili and the Crusaders coaches that are in the All Blacks. It could be the tough part. They trust him, they know him. That could be the biggest thing that Tupaea has to actually get over.
Yeah, and whether they see value in the fact he can move to 13.
Yeah.
Because Rico's there, does he cover wing as well? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a bit of mix and match, and I'm not necessarily saying they can't pick all five, including Billy Proctor, obviously. But, there will be a toss-up there because, correct me if I'm wrong, Bryn, but I can't remember seeing Davey at 13.
I don't think he has played a lot at 13, and look, he could play 13 at a pinch, but I think Quinn has the ability to be able to play 12 and 13. He's played more games in that 13 area, and to be honest as well, he's also played wing. Quinn's played wing for Waikato, sometimes with the Chiefs, and I can't actually remember if it was in New Zealand 15 as well.
He played All Blacks 15 at wing as well.
Yep, he did. So, utility-wise, when you probably know that Geordie's going to be a 12 and you've got Billy Proctor and Rico probably being that 13 role, and if they do select 4 midfielders, I'm not too sure what their number will be, utility could be a big thing around that selection with Quinn as well, being able to play at multiple positions.